Hello and welcome back to the Dave Does Detailing YouTube channel. In today's video we are going to be taking a look at the latest snow foam that Infinity Wax have brought out, Power Foam. This is not a pH neutral snow foam, so we're going to try it on the wife's car. It's pretty grubby, it really needs a wash, so this will be a really good test. We're going to do it at 3 different dilutions, 1 to 50, 1 to 20 and 1 to 10. We're going to see which one works best to shift just general road dirt from the car. Following on from that, we're going to apply a couple of different waxes, and then we're going to hit them with some different dilutions just to prove that this product will not strip away any waxes or sealants that you put on the vehicle. Let's go and do it. Starting off here is just going to be a very quick pan up the car, just to show how dirty it is up the side and what we're working with. It's a pretty even coating of dirt, so the test should be quite fair in terms of the application of the different dilutions. And then, as always, I'm going to start by just a quick rinse to knock off all the loose contaminants before moving on to the first application, which is the application of the 50:1 ratio. So this is 98 ml of water to 2 ml of foam. Now skipped on a few moments to the application of the 20:1, which in this case is 95 ml of water to 5 ml of foam. And then finally the application of the 10:1 ratio, which is 91 ml of water to 9 ml of foam. So now that that's applied, what we're going to do is we're going to be fair. We're going to give 10 minutes worth of dwell time to all 3 solutions, and then we're going to rinse off. So at this point we're into a little bit of sped up footage because I don't want you sitting here for 10 minutes, but you can see to the right you've got the thinner application at 50:1, and then you can see it starting to get thicker as we get up to the 10:1 application. And I have to say, even at the 50:1, I really thought it was just going to run right off the car, but although it initially fell off quite quickly, it's left behind like almost like a kind of film on the car, which is just going to continue to soften up that dirt. Don't really know what I'm doing here, but I seem to be feeling the different foams. So at this point in the video we are actually past the 10-minute mark, so it's now time to start rinsing off. So I'll start with the first application, which was the 50:1, and work my way along to rinsing off all of the foam that's been applied. So at this point I'm only working on the side of the car that's in the shade, and the foam has had a full 10 minutes worth of dwell time, and even at the 50:1 it wasn't dried out, and I could have probably given it at least another 5 minutes. Really impressed with how long this stuff seems to stick on the car. So now of course it is time for that all important swipe test with some of the wife's makeup pads. This is the 50:1, and it's done some work. It's not done a lot of work. It was quite heavy road film on the car there. Next section, don't know what I'm doing here. Hurry up Dave. Next section, yep, 20:1. Oh, we're going to do a double swipe on this one. Come on, show us what it is. Okay, 20:1, looks like it's done good work there. And finishing up with a 10:1, just a single swipe. That was a big swipe. So let's have a look at the 10:1. Probably quite a similar result to the 20:1 in my opinion there. And then let's just get the pads in order and have a quick look at all 3. So 50:1 to the right, 10:1 to the left. Okay, so a couple of weeks ago when I gave this car its last maintenance wash, I finished it off with some express sealant followed by some rapid detailer. So what I've done is I've given the car a full coverage at 10:1, and we're going to see what kind of effect the Power Foam has on the rapid detailer and the sealant. And I've only used 500 ml capacity in the snow foam ones, so just a little bit of proof that you don't need to be using a full litres worth of capacity every time you wash your car. So at this point the power foam's been left to dwell for another 10 minutes. So that's the car now, or this side of the car now had 2 doses of power foam at 10 to 1. So let's give this panel a blast and see what it looks like in terms of the water behaviour. Remember, this was last finished with express sealant followed by rapid detailer. So let's give this panel a good spray with water and see what the behaviour is like. And to me, that has definitely still got some protection left on it there. The water's sheeting off the door quite quickly. So yeah, definitely no detrimental effect to the express sealant and the rapid detailer. It's a little bit slower on the lower half of the door there, but also take into consideration that this car hasn't had its 2-bucket wash yet. This has only had the power foam, so there's still going to be some grime down on that bottom half of the door, causing the water to slow up. So I'm now going to do a further test in terms of if this product has any detrimental effect to sealants and waxes. What I've done is I've washed the car completely now, and I have applied a layer of Super Gloss Plus wax to the rear passenger door. It's not quite ready to be buffed off yet, but once it is, we will get a test and see what the water behaviour is like on it. Following on from that, I'm going to apply power foam at 10 to 1 ratio. I'm going to leave it to dwell for a further 10 minutes minimum before rinsing off, and then again we will check the water behaviour after the rinse. Now the wax has been allowed to cure and buffed off, we're going to do a quick water behaviour test just to see how quickly the water moves off the panel. And that is super quick. Forgot how nice this stuff is to use. I've not used it in a long time. Before moving on to the application of the power foam at 10 to 1 ratio, I'm going to let this dwell for a good 10 minutes before rinsing off. So here we are, what actually turned out to be closer to 15 minutes later. I ended up getting chatting to my neighbour, and look at how well the foam's performing, and that's sitting on top of a freshly waxed surface. So a quick rinse off, and then we'll have a look at the water behaviour and make a decision as to whether or not that it's impacted the performance of the wax. So a moment of truth, and that water behaviour looks the exact same to me. So back to the studio to talk a little bit more about the power foam.
Okay, so as you've seen there, we tried 3 different dilution ratios with what I would say was 2 different results. The 1 to 50, I felt for the grime that was on the car, it just didn't do it. I felt that the 1 to 20 and the 1 to 10 gave very, very similar results. In terms of myself, I normally use this product at 1 to 20. I don't feel the need to go down to 1 to 10. Plus with 1 to 20, you're getting much more from each bottle that you purchase, which moves us on to cost. Now, power foam is priced at £8.99 for 500 mls. What are you going to get out of this? As I showed in the video, I used 500 ml at 10 to 1 to completely cover a car. Normally I would use it at 20 to 1. So what do you get out of 500 ml at 20 to 1? What you need is 24 ml of product, which will give you 21 washes. This comes in at around about 43 pence per wash, which is really good value in terms of price per wash. Like I mentioned before, power foam is not a pH neutral snow foam, it's a little bit more on the alkaline side, and like we've displayed in the video, it won't affect your detail sprays, it won't affect your waxes. We used the Super Gloss Plus wax on the door, which was a fresh application. We left it for a little bit of time and then covered it in power foam at 10 to 1. Made absolutely no difference whatsoever to the hydrophobic properties of the wax. So hopefully that dispels a myth that power foam's not good for last stage products when you're doing your weekly wash or your every 2 weekly wash on your own vehicle, however you take care or maintain your paintwork. So hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, please leave a thumbs up. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. There's plenty more content to come. See you in the next one.